Den, also known as Hor-Den, Juan-Anu-Dimu, is the Horus name of an early Egyptian king who ruled during the First Dynasty. He is the best archaeologically attested ruler of this period. Den is said to have brought prosperity to his realm, and numerous innovations are attributed to his reign. He was the first to use the title King of Lower and Upper Egypt, and the first depicted as wearing the double crown. The floor of his tomb at El-Qaab near Abydos is made of red and black granite. The first time in Egypt this hard stone was used as a building material. During his long reign he established many of the patterns of court ritual and royalty used by later rulers, and he was held in high regard by his immediate successors. Length of reign. The Greek historian Manetho called him Usaphiados, and credited him with a reign of 20 years. Whilst the royal canon of Turin is damaged and therefore unable to provide information about the duration of Den's reign, Egyptologists and historians generally believe that Den had a reign of 42 years, based on inscriptions on the Palermo stone. Identity. Den's Syriac name was Den, or Juan, most likely meaning, he who brings the water. This is consistent with his birth name, which was Kasti, meaning, he of the two deserts. Egyptologists such as Toby Wilkinson and Francesco Tiradricti think that the birth name refers to the eastern and the western desert, both surrounding Egypt like protective shields, or to Lower and Upper Egypt. This is in accord with the introduction of the Nisut Biti title by Den. This royal title was designed to legitimize the ruler's power over whole of Egypt. Den's family has been the subject of significant research. His mother was Queen Meretneith. This conclusion is supported by contemporary seal impressions and by the inscription on the Palermo stone. Den's wives were the Queens Semet, Nakht-Neith and possibly Qua-Neith. He had also numerous sons and daughters. His possible successors to his heirs could have been King Anajib and King Samerkhet. Den's royal court is also well researched. Subsidiary tombs and palatial mastabes at Saqqara belong to high officials such as Ibqa, Ankh-Ka, Hemaka, Nebitka, Amka, Inyka and Khazar. In a subsidiary tomb at Den's necropolis, the rare stela of a dwarf named Sir Inpu was found. The birth name of Den was misread in Ramesside times. The royal table of Abydos has Sepithju written with two symbols for district. This derives from the two desert symbols Den originally had used. The royal canon of Turin refers to Kunench, which is quite difficult to translate. The origin of the hieroglyphs used the royal canon of Turin remains unknown. The royal table of Saqqara mysteriously omits Den completely. Reign. Beginning according to archaeological records, at the very beginning of his reign, Den had to share the throne with his mother Meretneith for several years. It seems that he was too young to rule himself. Therefore, Meretneith reigned as a regent or de facto pharaoh for some time. Such a course of action was not unusual in ancient Egyptian history. Queen Neithotep may have taken on a similar role before Meretneith, while queens such as Soberneferu and Hatshepsut were later female Egyptian rulers. Den's mother was rewarded with her own tomb of royal dimensions and with her own mortuary cult. Events. An important innovation during Den's reign was the introduction of numbering using hieroglyphs. Prior to this, important year events were merely depicted in signs and miniatures, sometimes guided by the hieroglyphic sign of a bald palm panicle, meaning year. From Den's reign onwards, the Egyptians used numbering hieroglyphs for a range of purposes, including calculating tax collections and for annotating their year events. Den is the first Egyptian king attested with rock reliefs in Sinai. 2 or perhaps even 3 reliefs are showing the standing king and some of his officials. Most religious and political happenings from Den's reign are recorded in the numerous ivory tags and from the Palermo stone inscription. The tags show important developments in typography and arts. The surface is artistically parted into sections, each of them showing individual events. For example, one of these tags reports on an epidemic then affecting Egypt. The inscription shows the figure of a shaman with an undefined vessel or urn at his feet. A nearby inscription begins with Henu, but it is unclear if that means provision, or if it is the first syllable of the name of Henu-Ka. Another tag, known as the McGregor label, shows the first complete depiction of an Egyptian king with the so-called Nemes headdress. The picture shows Den in a gesture known as smiting the enemy. In one hand, Den holds a smashing scepter, in the other hand he grabs a foe by his hair. Thanks to the dreadlocks and the conic beard, the foe has been identified as of Asian origin. The hieroglyphs at the right side say, First Smiting of the East. At the left side, the name of the high official Iny is inscribed. It seems that Den sent troops to Sinai and the eastern desert a number of times. Plundering nomads, known by the early Egyptians as Ayamju, were regular foes of Egypt, often causing trouble. They are again mentioned in a rock inscription at Sinai under King Semerkhet, one of Den's successors. More events are reported on the Palermo stone fragments. The Oxford fragment records the following events. 4th year, first time for counting gold. 5th year, escort of Horus, 2nd census of cattle count. 6th year, of the Rehite. 7th year, escort of Horus, 3rd census of cattle count. The Cairo stone fragment C5 reports. 18th year, the making of a statue for Wer Wajet. 19th year, smiting of the Setjet people. 20th year, creation of the Mafdit fetish, raising of the Sentj pillars. 21st year, smiting of the Chiesum people. 22nd year, visit to the royal domain of Semenetjeru, first celebration of the Hebst. The Palermo stone main fragment reports. 28th year, visit to the temple of Ptah. 29th year, smiting of the Iyantshu people. 30th year, appearance of the king of Lower and Upper Egypt, second celebration of the Hebst. 31st year, planning for the construction of the eastern and western canals through the districts of the Rehites. 32nd year, second celebration of the Djet festival. 33rd year, stretching the cords for the divine fortress Isut Netjeru. 34th year, stretching the cords for the royal palace of the divine fortress Isut Netjeru by the high priest of Seshat. 35th year, inauguration of the sacred lakes at the divine fortress Isut Netjeru, a royal hippopotamus hunt. 36th year, residing at Nenjnesw and at the lake of the god Harishaf. 37th year, sailing trip to Savannah Setni, foundation, destruction of the city Wer. 38th year, creation of a statue for the god Sed. 39th year, appearance of the king of Lower and Upper Egypt, first race of the Apis bull. 40th year, creation of a statue for the goddesses Seshat and Mafdit. 41st year, appearance of the king of Lower in. The second celebration of the Hebst is affirmed by several stone vessel inscriptions from Den's necropolis. Tomb. Den was interred within a tomb in the Qab area of Abydos, which is associated with other First Dynasty kings. Tomb T is among the largest and most finely built of the tombs in this area, and is the first to feature a staircase and a floor made of granite. His was the first tomb to have a flight of stairs leading to it, those of earlier kings being filled directly above from their roofs. It is possible that the tomb may have used as a storehouse for surplus produce during the king's lifetime, while also making it easier to add grave goods for later use in the afterlife by Den. Tomb T is also the first tomb to include architectural elements made of stone rather than mud brick. In the original layout for the tomb, a wooden door was located about halfway up the staircase, and a portcullis placed in front of the burial chamber, designed to keep out tomb robbers. The floor of the tomb was paved in red and black granite from Aswan, the first architectural use of such hard stone on a large scale. 20 labels made of ivory and ebony were found in his tomb. 18 of them were found by Flinders Petrie in the spoil heaps left by the less thorough archaeologist Emile Amelino. Among these labels are the earliest known depictions of a pharaoh wearing the double crown of Egypt, as well as running between ritual stela as part of the said festival. Also found are seal impressions that provide the earliest confirmed king list. Tomb T is surrounded by the burial sites of 136 men and women who were buried at the same time as the king, thought to be the king's retainers. An examination of some of the skeletons suggests they were strangled, making this an example of human sacrifice which is considered to be common with the pharaohs of this dynasty. This practice, which seems to have ceased by the conclusion of the dynasty, with shatters taking the place of the bodies of actual people to aid the pharaohs with the work expected of them in the afterlife.